Nobody warns you about this part. The books talk about compound interest. The videos talk about saving rates. The advice talks about discipline and systems and habits. Nobody talks about what happens to your relationships when your financial life starts to change. And for a lot of people, that part is the hardest part. The shift that happens quietly. It doesn't happen dramatically. There's no moment where everything changes at once. It happens in small frictions. A dinner where the price of the menu means something different to you than it does to everyone else at the table. A conversation about money where your perspective no longer fits the shared language of the group. A plan you quietly don't join because the gap between what it costs them and what it costs you has become too wide to explain. You're still the same person. But something about the financial distance has created another kind of distance, one that nobody names: the silence around it. The silence around financial loneliness is almost total. Because talking about it sounds like bragging. Saying I've outgrown my circle financially sounds arrogant. So people don't say it. Instead, they just feel it. They feel the pull of two directions: the life they're building and the relationships that belong to the life they came from. And they try to straddle both for as long as possible, quietly downplaying progress around old friends, quietly feeling behind around new ones, never fully at home in either place. The new circle that doesn't exist yet. The harder truth isn't losing the old circle. It's that the new one hasn't been found yet. Financial progress moves people into an in-between space, too far from where they started to feel fully comfortable there. Not far enough into the new world to feel fully accepted there either. And that in-between space is genuinely lonely. Not because the person is isolated, but because the conversations they need about what this transition actually feels like, about the uncertainty underneath the progress, about the parts that don't feel like winning, those conversations have nowhere to happen. The old circle doesn't understand the new problems. The new circle never discusses the real ones. So people carry it quietly, and quiet is heavy. Financial progress is sold as a purely personal achievement. More discipline, better decisions, smarter systems. But it happens inside relationships. And relationships have a gravity to them. They pull toward the familiar. They resist the unfamiliar. They make growth feel like departure. The loneliness that comes from outgrowing a circle isn't a sign that something went wrong. It's a sign that something changed. And that in-between space, the one nobody maps out for you, is part of the journey that nobody puts in the budget.